we're going to ask folks on your end if you would be so kind as to keep your phone on mute unless you're speaking so that we won't have background noise on the recording. Thanks so much. Well, welcome everybody. This is Mimi Maduro from the Oregon Department of Community Colleges and Workforce Development. I'm here at Mount Hood Community College with two of my colleagues, Effie Siverts and Mark Wreath, and they'll introduce themselves.
Hello, this is Effie.
Hi, this is Mark. We're cramped in here in my little office.
Yes, it's quite cozy in here. So, again, you will be able to get a link to this recorded session, and we'll be getting this out to the CTE network, to the Oregon Pathways Alliance, and to the high school counselors statewide later this week. So thanks for being here in the real-time webinar. So today in our webinar, you can see in front of you through your web link the title of this program today, which is Online Program of Study Templates, which we call POSTs, and Career Pathway Roadmaps. These are career and academic planning tools for students and counselors. And today, one of the main things we want to do today is we want to give you a background about Career Pathway Roadmaps briefly if you're not familiar with them, and then tell you more about what we're building out in the next coming year, statewide access to program of study templates statewide. So again, the agenda for our webinar today is to learn about how you can access more than 400 career pathway roadmaps for CTE programs all over the state. We want to show you our new program of study post statewide website so that you can give us feedback. This is in a beta development. We really want your feedback, and we're going to give you an opportunity to show you how you can give us feedback. And then we're going to hear from Mount Hood Community College, who's done a lot of work on a pilot implementation to get more than 75 posts up and running and working with their high school counselors and community college faculty. So anyway, here we go. And so let me tell you a little bit about Career Pathway Roadmaps. Some of you may have been familiar with them, some of them you may not be. But we have about 400 of these roadmaps available on 17 community college roadmap websites. They show you the certificates, the degrees, the articulations, the job and labor market information, and how to get started on a CTE pathway. Right now, it shows you more than 300 career pathway certificates and 100 less than one-year certificates, plus hundreds of 45 credit certificates and degrees as well. To give you an idea of the usage for this website, we basically, in the past 6 months, we've had about 54,000 hits, and last fiscal year we had 74,000. And how you go about getting access to, you never can remember 17 web links. I never remember them either, but we have one place where you can go and access them, and that's www.mypathcareers.org/CP. And we're going to go there for a moment, and we're going to show you we call it the famous yellow map. And from this yellow map, if you click on any of these pink dots, you will be able to see roadmaps from those colleges. So we're going to go to Eugene and go to Lane, and we're going to look at a roadmap. So when you go to Lane's website, you see this, and Effie's going to scroll down, and you'll see that there's a career pathway. This is their roadmap for health records technology. They have a basic healthcare certificate, career pathway certificate, and information about the employment, information about the different, they have actually 3 career pathway certificates in this degree program, and then information about how you can continue your education. So again, we have 400 of these roadmaps statewide. This just gives you an example. So again, this has been built up and been out there for the past few years, so many of you have probably seen this, but we wanted to take this concept of having one place where you can go and see all the career pathway roadmaps statewide and be able to see the program of study templates statewide. And that's what we're going to focus on. So what is a POST, a program of study template? So what we're going to show you today is our posts. We're going to give you some examples of them. And basically, what does a post do? It maps the coursework for 9th to 12th grades in a specific high school, and it shows you how it articulates to a specific CTE certificate degree program at Oregon's community colleges. Right now we have more than 400 of them developed statewide, but they're in many different roadmaps and websites, and so we're trying to find one place you go to, one-stop shopping, one website would show you all of them. So we're working on building this out through March of 2015, and so the link is, you can go and look at this today. Again, it's a development site, and it's right there on your screen, post.ctepathways.org, and we're going to show you that. One of the primary purposes of our session today is that we really want to get the word out on this development site, have you look at it, critique it, give us your feedback. This works, this doesn't work. We haven't built this out. It's basically a shell, but it kind of shows you how we're going to do this, and we want to get your inputs to before we do further programming. So here's the next slide and what we're going to show you. We're going to show you a post, and we're going to show you a post from Road Community College. This is one example. This is with construction technology at Ashland High School. Now, here's the post. Here's what a post looks like. As you can see, you can print this out if you want. Rogue has a high school post site on their website. This is an example. Here's what you see in your freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years, the courses you take. And then as you scroll forward and you kind of see your program of study from 9th through 12th grades, then you get to see all of the certificates and degrees that you can connect to at Road Community College with that high school coursework. And so if you click on them, you'll see that there's a variety of different programs you can go to, and here's what it looks like. Your prereqs, your starting considerations, your first term, your second term, et cetera, et cetera. So that maps out your whole program of study. Okay, so that gives you an example of what one post looks like. Again, we have about 400 of them, and we anticipate having more. And again, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and we're trying to get these posts out there so students, prospective students, parents, teachers, and other folks around the state have access to them. And so, okay, so we want to do a little 10-second commercial break, and that commercial break it's actually a 90-second commercial break. We're going to show you a 90-second video that was created by Lane Community College that's on their Career Pathway site. This 90-second video will give you kind of a sense of the overarching overarching concept of career pathways. And then we'll come back and we will be talking about how to make this happen at the local level, developing posts with your high school, your regional coordinators, and the community colleges. So here we go.
Think going to college is just a dream? Think again. Career Pathway certificates from Lane Community College are designed to help you learn a specific set of skills for specific careers. When you complete the required courses, you'll be qualified for entry-level positions in high-demand fields. If you're already working, Career Pathway certificates can help you advance in your current job. Each Career Pathway certificate requires between 12 and 44 credit hours. If you enroll full-time, it's possible to complete some of these in a single term. Part-time students often complete theirs in 3 terms. And because every Career Pathway certificate course is part of a larger program, every credit you earn also gets you one credit closer to completing a degree at Lane. Lane works with employers, workforce and economic development agencies, high schools, and 4-year institutions to create career pathway certificates in fields ranging from accounting to computer programming, construction to manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare. That means you'll have a foot in the door with a lot of help you with basic employment or on-the-job training, a transition from high school and adult education programs, or plan to run your own business.
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in college, but I tried some career pathway classes, fell in love with my field, and now I'm working on my 2-year degree at Lane. Thanks to the Career Pathway Certificate Program, I already have a job while I'm still enrolled in school. In a few years, I'd like to open up my own business.
Get your future on track with career.
So The punchline is eluding us here. Okay, well, anyway, she's saying get your career on track with the career pathways. So, well, that was kind of a new experiment in technology for us, but we made it work almost. So again, you can see that 90-second video on Lane's website. Now, I just wanted to do a little short break here and ask, I know it sounds like someone out there is unmuted. If you take a moment to mute your phone, that would be great. Okay, and that person just cleared their throat so they know they can basically put their phone on mute. All right, so what does this really cool, so basically right now what we're going to do is we're going to show you Mount Hood's posts. And Mount Hood has been working with their high schools, and this is Mark Wreath who's going to share this information with you now and show you basically how it's been working on the ground and show you the posts that they've been developing with their high schools. Mark?
Thanks, Mimi. Hello, everybody. I had to move over a chair to get closer to the phone. So first I have to say a disclaimer, and that is I saw that Kristen Gunson is logged on here, and I wanted to say that I started this work down in Lane County with Lane Community College and Lane ESD. So actually what I was able to do was a test run several things and learn from some mistakes before I came up here to Mount Hood, and I was able to incorporate that. And to be honest, it worked much easier up here. So thank you, Kristen, and thank you, Lane Community College, for the practice run. I think one of the most important things with that is we're not going to get into how to create the post and the training that's involved, but what I did in Lane is I brought my CTE instructors, high school instructors in, and we brought Effie in, and we did a training and started from ground zero to create the post template. And what we discovered is, although the CTE teachers may know their classes, they're not really aware of the core content that are required in the 9 through 12 system. And so really we were asking far too much of those instructors to start with. So what I learned and did differently up here is I actually created a special project and had some funding to have an administrative assistant build the templates based on school websites and the community college websites and front-loaded them. Then I invited school counselors in to look at these already rough draft post templates and then edit them. So really that was the nugget, is that rather than have them start from scratch, pre-build it, and then have them do edits made it not as daunting, and I think they were able to make a lot quicker steps in furthering these. So roughly what I did is last year we started this, and just those of you that, well, I guess you're all probably familiar with the Perkins funds, I wrote this into my reserve grant to use high school counselors and the student support services to help build these and work on these and create a counseling tool. So that's how I paid for it, was through the reserve grant. We had Effie come in for a training. We actually did 2 trainings last year. One was an introduction where I talked about the nuts and bolts of Perkins. So we talked about program of study and program completers and sequence of courses so that they could understand the Perkins side of the house and the CTE program side of the house. And then we went into the post-development is how we did that. And then I also had them present at the OACTE conference and brought them there. So that was a great opportunity for them to see other CTE instructors and see the bigger picture of things. The nice part, what we did is this year I wrote it into my grant again, and although we haven't met 2 times, we brought that same group back to update their work. So it was great to have the teachers come, or the counselors came back. They already were familiar with each other. They already had some basic familiarity with the tool, and they were able to not only update, which was a part of it, but they enhanced what they had. So we talked about hyperlinks, and we talked about embedding different content and doing some of those things. So I'm really happy with the work, and actually we just met today, if I'm going to be completely honest. So we met this morning, and I just wanted to share a couple comments that I heard. One was one of the counselors said, you know, I sat down in my office a couple times and I actually pulled up the web tool, but it just seemed too daunting by myself to go in and do the edits. His comment was, I know I've done this, but I don't remember how, so I just didn't do it. And I think that's probably common. So being in a room with support of other people doing the same thing and Effie's expertise there, he was able to knock through a bunch of the updates and felt supported and completed his work, which was great. Another person said, when I asked them, so how are you really going to use this tool? And one of the things she said is, I see this as a great tool for middle school forecasting. I can go, and this is a larger high school, by the way. She said, I can go and sit in a room with 60 middle school students and we can talk about what their career interests are, and I can pull up these posts and show them all at once, well, this is what your high school experience needs to look like. So I thought that was a great example, too, of how counselors are starting to kind of internalize this and see this as a useful tool for them. So I think that's the overview. I'm going to bring those counselors back to OACTE again to get some more exposure. And then year 3, the plan is to bring in some different counselors. We're fortunate enough in our area where the schools are big enough where they have 3, 4, 5 counselors. So we're going to try to rotate them around and give them some exposure to our CTE world. So now I'll show you what we did. Our post template is not a lot different than others, but we've done some things that I think are good for us. I will say this too, is one of the best things about the tool when you get to use it is you don't necessarily have to create everything new. It's a tool that's open to everybody, so you can go out and grab somebody else's work if it's similar. You can copy it, bring it into your page, and then make edits to make it fit. So you never really have to start from scratch because a lot of us have already done that work. So we're going to go into early childhood education, and this is just my website, by the way, for our CTE Consortium. So you'll see that we have the schools listed that have programs and then a link to our post. And you'll see we have several schools that have ECE programs across the top: Centennial, Dave Douglas, Gresham, Barlow, Reynolds. So those are our schools. Again, these have been updated today, as a matter of fact, so you're looking at a live capture of what's currently happening in the schools. So if you scroll down, the piece that we've done too, which is not uncommon, is the tie to the community college piece. So you can see the career pathway certificate, the 1-year certificate, and the 2-year degree. We've created hot links to course descriptions at Mount Hood's website. The nice thing about this, and this is another little trick of the trade, is somebody's job is to update these every year. So these links will always be accurate, which is nice. So I would caution you against linking to pages that might not be updated on a regular basis because you don't want to link to dead pages. Just a lesson learned. And if you scroll down to the bottom, one of the things we've tried to do is really try to incorporate the roadmaps and the post templates and kind of make it back and forth, if you will. So if you click on the roadmap, this will pull up the early childhood ed roadmap here in a second.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Well, that hasn't happened yet.
Mm-mm.
Sorry for that. So I guess what you would be seeing right now is a roadmap at Mount Hood Community College, and in the upper corner of the roadmap, it shows the first entry point, which is the high school piece. So if you click on that roadmap, it links you to the post template that you just saw. This is the post template. Then I guess the point I'm making is that they go back and forth. So if you were to go to the college website like this,
There's one.
there's one. So now if you click on the high school program, it takes you, should take you back to the post template. So again, just trying to close that loop. So if you come access from the college, you can get to the high school. If you access from the high school, you can get back to the college. A next step we're trying to make with these two to just kind of make them more dynamic is some of the high schools actually have links to their school programs. So not only will the college have links to course descriptions, but some of our high schools will be able to have links that go directly to their course descriptions. But a real nice piece was having these counselors in there. And you'll notice too, they'll talk more than just post, which is fine. It's a time for them to get together and talk about financial aid and some of these other things, which is really great and relevant and makes them own the meetings. And I just lost my thought. But a good time to get them together to focus on this and focus on the students. And I think that's it for my piece.
All right, so I'm going to just do a little time traveling. This is Mimi again. And so, as Mark mentioned earlier, we had a team of people who got together about 5 or 6 years ago and built out and redesigned. We got a team of teachers and people from across the state. Kristen Gunson was a part of that. Mark Wreath was a part of that. We had some community college folks who have moved on as a part of that. And we designed the posts. Now, those posts have not, have been really built out in 3 or 4 colleges, and right now we're trying to build these out statewide. So that's what we're focusing on in this coming year. And what would it look like when we're done and we're successful? That you'll be able to toggle between a community college roadmap and a program of study and be able to access them statewide. So remember that yellow map we saw earlier in the presentation where you could access it, any roadmap statewide? Well, now we've developed this post site where you can see any post that's been developed in Oregon, and you can see it by high school, by community college, by career area, or by program. So this website, again, is a beta test site. This is being built out as we speak, and And that's what we're asking for your feedback on. So we have included the link, as you can see in the earlier PowerPoint slide, and we're really wanting you to go in there and say, hey, how does this work? How's this going to work? And you can, right now we don't have it built out statewide. We have it, you can see examples in there from Mount Hood, from Rogue, and from Lane. So Effie's going to show us an example. And for example, if there are no posts for, there's, more than 200 some high schools in the state, and not every high school is going to have a post. So if there's no post built at this time, this little message will come up and say, there are no posts available at this time for this school. But where they are, you'll see them. So for example, Effie's walking us through and showing us that you can click on a high school in this area, Mount Hood, Business and Management, and then see the accounting program of study. And you can scroll down and you can see, again, the accounting assistant and then the AAS degree. So you can see what on the top half, there's a consistent format for the template. The top half of the template is, here's your coursework from 9th through 12th grade, and the bottom half of the template is, here's the certificates and degrees and articulations to universities. And here's the community college piece of it. The roadmap will show you the articulations. So this is what we're really wanting to get the word out on and get your feedback on in terms of, we want this to be used. So right there you can see, click here to provide your feedback. What happens is when you fill this form out, Effie gets an email, I get an email, and we're going to respond to it. We're especially asking for feedback between now and March 31st, but we'll take feedback after that because we want to start building it out and adding more design features. So right now you're able to see you can see the posts from, again, Mount Hood, from Lane, and from Rogue. And as we move forward, we'll build them out. All 17 colleges in their career pathway grants will be building out their posts in their region. So we're really looking to have this become more and more robust as the year moves forward. And we have a special feature on here. You can see you could actually put your zip code in and then find out. Obviously, if we don't have it built out, it won't be there. But at some point, again, this is designed for students. We're wanting to increase student use and have students and counselors and advisors be able to use this as a tool to kind of get students engaged. And then one thing that's great about the web tool, this is an Oregon-grown piece of software. Effie Siverts has been with us from day one. She is on contract through the Department of Community Colleges and Workforce Development and Lane Community College to provide, on-site and online technical assistance and training. When you click on, basically click here to provide your feedback, or if you're on the roadmaps and you web tool and you click on the help desk, Effie is the help desk. So she is here to provide training and technical assistance for everyone in the state, and that is part of the Career Pathways Initiative. So I'm going to stop here a moment and ask Effie and Mark if they'd like to add anything more before we have 5 minutes to go, and I'd like to have them add anything they'd like and then open it up to any questions from our participants. Effie and Mark, anything you want to add?
Just for those of you that are wanting to experiment with the post site, like Mimi said, this is kind of hard-coded at this time. So if you're putting in your zip code for wherever your location is, it may not work. It's only geared for a couple of fixed zip codes, like for Eugene, 97405, for Mount Hood, 97030, and down in Rogue, we also have that programmed for 97527. So if you use any three of those zip codes, you will get results. I can't guarantee what results you'll get if you don't.
Yeah. And again, one of our goals in not building this out, building out every feature is that as we built the roadmap web tool as a piece of Oregon homegrown software, which again is an open source tool which has been adopted by the state of Washington and other places as well, we really want the design to come from the users. So this may look skeletal, and you'll think, well, there's not much here. Well, there it is here, but we're not going to build it out until we get more buy-in and input. And and it really worked very well when we developed the roadmaps because the features that were designed and programmed into that web tool were things that users said they wanted, and that's what we're trying to find out from you is what would you want to see and what do you think students would want to see in order to make this, again, something that is really used out there in the community, in our schools, and with students and prospective students. So we have about a minute. Are there any quick questions that we could address before we close? Any brave soul want to bring up a question?
You may need to take your phone off of mute if you want to participate in the conversation.
Okay. Well, hearing none, we want to thank you for being a participant today and listening. Know that we will be getting this recorded webinar out to the CTE network, to the Oregon Pathways Alliance, and to the High School Counselor listserv, and so that you can get the word out and see it at a different time. We know that sometimes getting on a webinar in real time is not easy for many people, so that's one of our intentions today in recording it. So we want to thank you for your participation and wish you all the best, and hope you enjoy building and using POST, Program of Study Template in Oregon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.